with their parents, killing them, and even fighting with their teachers. Would like to know what exactly is happening. How can we correct this? Is there a solution? Is there someone who is propelling such kind of a behavior? I will give you that time to listen, but in a bit, let's listen to my guests as they introduce themselves. I would start to the lady on my left.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Wilkista Juma, a counseling psychologist.
Welcome, Wilkista.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm Joy Tichi. 23 years old, and I just finished school.
Wow, good to have you.
Thank you.
Hello, guys. I'm Blessing Wakesho, 23 years of age, and just recently completed my course.
Okay. So I have a counseling psychologist and two ladies who just finished campus, 23 years of age. Okay. So we're talking about why do young people go against authority? Wilkista, you have heard what's happening in the recent past. You have those who resumed school and there they are fighting with their teachers. What exactly is happening? Is it something we can tag to COVID? We were so much enclosed and now that we are out, we had bottled in so much pressure and now we're looking for the place to let out all this. What exactly is happening?
You are right. A lot has happened. The 2020 was a difficult year for all of us. It was a difficult year for parents, for the young people. And we tend to just imagine it is us that we were more affected than them. They were also held indoors for the longest time. They were not meeting with their friends. So I would say partly what was happening in 2020 due to COVID has contributed to this. But we have many other factors that maybe we look at. Yes.
I agree. Joy. What is the problem? Why are young people going against authority? Not parents, not teachers, not the government. What is happening with you guys?
On authority, I'd like to talk about parents. And maybe I'd say strict parents sometimes contribute to rebellion from their kids. And maybe the parents will be strict, maybe because they are trying to reflect their insecurities on their kids. Insecurities in that maybe they don't want their kids to face what they went through, or what people they know went through. Now the kids tend to rebel.
Because there's so much expectation from the parents to their children. Like, that those parents who wanted to become a doctor and they're selling veggies, they never went up to class 4 or form 4, and that's what they expect on you. So how does that make you rebellious?
Now, in the sense of maybe expectations, maybe the parents they definitely expect the students to be, their kids to be better than they were. But now when a parent tells you, hey, sometimes they may put the pressure, I want you to be a doctor, or I want you to be, that the parent, maybe the kid wants to be an artist. No. Now the parents is like, no. Now the kid will.
So you decide at that time, you don't know, I will show you. That's now what you decide. Blessing.
Yes.
Why do you guys go against authority?
I think part of poor upbringing of their kids, you find out that the parents concentrate more on money than how they should bring up their kids. So you find out hiyo majukumu ya kulea watoto wameachia the maids, of which children, the kids, our respect the maids.
Help,
they don't respect the house help. So hiyo time ya wazazi kwa watoto wao, it's no more there. So they pay more attention in money.
Wow. Well, Kista, when you listen to that is like the reality on the ground. Parents just wake up every single day going to look for your school fees, going to look for your clothes, because parents have that fear and insecurity of, how do my kids look out there? People are judging my children for the way they look. So they would rather give you a good presentation out there than build the inner you. is that really what's happening, or have you and my view are just biased?
I would say they are right to some extent, because parents go out there looking for the money, like she said, and then they forget the feelings of these young people. Not all parents, the parents who take time with their children. Yes, so that is a contributing factor, one of the contributing factors, because maybe the young person feels like, my mom is so focused on other things rather than being focused in me, in whatever I'm doing. Or my parents are more interested in other things. They're spending so much time out there, they don't have time for us. Maybe the young people, they'll tell us they want more time with the parents to talk these issues. Though I have an issue with them, I also want to know, because still they don't give parents that time. Even when your parent wants to like talk to you, do you give them time? Do the young people give them time?
Joy, are you the one who starts up the conversation and says like, Mom, today I need 20 minutes, can we talk? Do you do that? Or you just look at your parents, get busy on what they have to do, which is not for their own, but for you, by the way. These guys are busy working to get you money to pay school fees. They're working hard to make you look presentable out there. Because when you're just in tattered clothes at your age, your self-esteem also goes down, and you don't want to show up before your friends. You want to lock yourself. When people are dressing in a particular style, when your hair is not well done, and you want to tell your mom, so should I get a boyfriend to do this, and you're here. So your mom also your parents have that pressure that they have to step out and do this. But you still judge them, and you don't tell them like, hey, just 20 minutes, can we talk about this? Do you do that?
Sometimes the kids don't know how to handle it. Maybe because when you look at your parents, they're so perfect. Like, how do you, maybe you want to be able to even open up. Like, hey, Mom, you see, my friends at school, they dress really nicely, and I know you're out there looking for money to dress me, but, or maybe you look at the parents and you're just scared to open up.
Why? What makes you do that? Because this is your mom, this is your dad, they're your parents, you live in the same house under a roof, You talk, you can always tell them, Mom, my school fees is due to be paid on 10th of February, right? You do that, right?
Sometimes, maybe if the parent is strict, I still go back there. If the parent is strict, you don't know even how to approach them. You don't know, or maybe you're used to just not saying it, because you don't know how.
Blessing, how do you communicate when you find yourself in a space where a lot of these obligations have been left to the house help? Do you send the house help to your mom, or you just say, Mom, we're supposed to be doing rice today and there's no rice, there's no beef in the fridge, there's no this. I should be reporting to school and my hair doesn't look so nice and my school fee isn't paid. I need that check. I mean, how do you communicate to your parents?
Okay. So in that state, it depends the relationship I have between me and my parents.
Yeah.
So in that state, I will rather talk to my sister, so that
Older or younger?
my older sister,
Uh-huh.
so that at least she can approach my mom.
Why her? Because she's older, or because she has a better relationship with your mom?
Okay, my elder sis has a better relationship with my mom compared to me.
Why? Why? This is the question I want answered. Because it all starts from the separation. You either are isolating yourself, or your parents are pushing you away. Because if people are together, they can discuss barely everything. They can, have everything bare and naked on the table and begin to evaluate, and they begin to, pick on each and everything and talk about them. But when there is a distance, when there is isolation, when there is separation, you cannot talk. You will end up communicating the wrong way. So you communicate through your sister, and then they decode that statement differently. And so what you said is not what is relayed. And then in the end, there's just a misunderstanding and a misplacement of everything. So why is there such kind of a push and pull between the parents and their young adults or their young ones? What causes that? How come your sister has achieved it and you haven't? What is it exactly?
Okay, you might find out in some families, kuna hawa watoto wa baba na watoto wa mama. So according to our family, I think mimi ni mtoto wa baba. Na kuna vitu zenye nataka kuongea na mama zenye baba hafai kujua. So itabidi nimeenda kwa sis ndio at least aongee na mama. So ile maneno ambayo sis ataambia mama ndio sasa mama atamua kunifuata. Yeah.
I think that, you see now, even sometimes parents go wrong when they start like separating children. You find that, like she said, kuna watoto wa baba na kuna watoto wa mama.
Who makes that distinction?
No, look here, when you look at the children, okay, let's say we have even Kenyan tribes that name children. You name them like, say the first child comes to the father's side, the second child goes to the mother's side.
And that's culture. That's something that's already there.
Yes,
it's culture.
but let me tell you, there's something that it puts into the parents. They are like, this is my dad, and this is your dad. So separation starts early. I was actually talking to another client who was talking about a division of property, inheritance, and then he was telling me about how the child who's named after his father will inherit what, and then the other child will inherit from the mother's side because he is named there. So I think the division sometimes is brought about by the parents. There's that attachment you develop with other children, which is not right. It's another attachment with. So you'd find that a child now starts feeling like he's not part of this. You know, I'm in this family, but maybe I belong to my mother more than my father, or maybe I belong to my father loves me more. They start now having that feeling. Psychologically, they started feeling like, okay, this parent loves me more than the other parent, which is not the case. It is, it is not the case. Parents love you equally. Most of the time, they love you equally, and they want the best. Every parent wants the best out of their own children. So when a child sits, you know, in the mind of this young person, they've already created that bridge. Is it a bridge really or a gap? It's a gap actually, a gap between one parent. This parent does not love me. This one loves me more. You can even hear some parents when they don't know, they talk about it openly. Hey, this is my favorite child.
And that's the reason that they should come up to the parents and say, Mom, this is what I feel. You know, because you were talking about the tiger kind of parents who have those great expectations of you. They want you to jump over, you know, that high building that they never managed to. And you probably want that free range kind of parenting where you are set to make your decisions and just be the responsible person. And your parents may never get you to just do that until they have confirmed that Joy has become of age to be able to handle this. A lot of time parents just want to, you know, spy on you and just check to confirm that you are safe, you are right. Do you like such kind of a thing, or do you like to be left alone?
Definitely the parents will confirm to know where the kids are doing. Now, to be left alone, not really. You'd like your parent to show interest.
Oh, you would?
Yeah,
you would.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of times say, hey, she's really spying on me, and she's just a snoop. She's always on my phone. She wants, and you guys don't like such kind of crap. You call it. You give your parents names for such. And I just wonder, to be honest with you guys, what are some of those things other than what you have mentioned, that the parents are so strict? I believe not all parents are so strict, and some have even given up. They're just like, you know what, guys, your age, live your life. I lived my life. Why do you still go against such parents that you even plan with your friends to kill them, to take away their life. What gets into you that you have no control, and you're like, you will know. I know you gave back to me, but we can't live like this. What is it that gets into you, Joy?
Maybe when the kids are using drugs, that would be a reason. Maybe they're on drugs, so they have they misjudge. So they probably think like, my parents, no, we want to be boss.
Do you ever feel like that? Other than being influenced, under the influence of drugs, do you ever feel like that? Just on a normal day, like you hate your parents so badly and you just want to eliminate them? No. But in your cycle, have you had peers talk about such kinds of things? They gossip about their parents and they're like, oh, your mama.
Yes, it happens.
What do they say?
They don't even call them your mama. They call them by their name. If your mom is called, my mom's called Stella. So I just say Stella. Like now the kids are so mad.
Really? So what pushes them to that level? Yani mpaka you want to let it out to your friends and you lose that respect for your parents. And you know, come evening, that's where you're going. You know, there's no school fees, that's where you're going. There's no food, that's where you're going. What is it that happens to you that you lose control and contemplation of such important things they have done to you?
Sometimes peer pressure would influence me as well. I'd say maybe your friends, their parents, they're easy. But your parents don't want you to be home by 6. Or maybe you cannot go out on Friday, but your friends, their parents allow them to go out. They, now you start comparing and you're like, my parents, no, they're too much.
Just for that simple thing. That makes me know parents are never wrong. Blessing. Are they always wrong, parents?
At some point, they are.
Like when they do what?
When they're not in the mood to listen to you.
Have you ever decided like, Mom, can we have a discussion? Just 20 minutes. This is what I want. This is how I want it. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Even people in your circle, your buddies, have they done that? What was the response?
Okay, the response was, at that time, when you want to talk to your parents, maybe the parents not in the state of talking to you. Maybe she has her plans. Maybe akona things, but vitu zake za kufanya,
which you also have certain times. Are you always in the mood to talk the whole time, all the time?
But I think you should create time for us.
Yes, and should you also not create time for your parents? What do you think? Should it be a one-way thing, or you should come to a consensus and then agree like, okay, Mom, I really wanted to talk to you, but when I look at you, I don't find you in the mood, right? That happens.
Yeah.
Are you always in the mood of talking? Before, we just hack it on the mom and say, she's never interested.
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
So mostly it's just one-sided.
Yeah.
So when you find that your mom is not in the mood to have a discussion with you or to talk about something, what do? You just conclude and decide to do your own things?
No. At that point, I'll just go and relax, or maybe talk to a friend or my sis. Yeah.
Okay. Wilkista, you are a university counselor. And so I imagine all the things that happen in campus, and when they come to your table, what do you hear the complaints they have mostly against their parents and even the people that they live with, their guardians and those who are in authority above them?
Okay, most young people, they will, because of the age they are in, it's the age whereby they were in a family and now they are preparing to go out there and start their own families. So there is in between there, and in that transition, at one time or another, they've argued with the parents. They disagreed. Of course, when you live with someone, you have to disagree.
Yeah.
So we have personalities, different personalities. There are some personalities that it is easier for them like to just move on and maybe forgive. Sometimes they carry grudges for very small things. You have a grudge with your parent over something they said, something they did. I don't know, maybe you'll agree with me.
Yes.
You've carried those grudges. So it depends on the personality of this this person. When we talk about the anger, the rebellion, and the acts they've been doing nowadays, those are the people that, for one reason or another, they cannot control their own anger because of the things they carried from their home. She mentioned about maybe feeling like the sister is better off and can maybe pass the message to the parent. Maybe her personality allows her maybe to cool down and at least forgive and use the sister, that's all. Another one will just move out of the house and go and say those people are not good, and even start planning on how to get rid of them or get away from that particular home. So there are factors that could be contributing to that. We have maybe some internal factors in that person. We have personality of that person. Internal, I mean that maybe they built bitterness in them because of one thing that happened in the family or another. Something that happened at school. Maybe they were bullied at school. Maybe the house girl you brought was not good to them. Maybe this child was even sodomized or raped. Something happened in this home that the parent is not aware of. And because of that gap that they have, she's not able to go to the parent and tell the parent, you know, this thing happened to me. You know, I feel like you are not you're not listening to me. I feel like you love someone else better than me. And it reaches a point where the child feels like, I need to move out of this place. I need to get my share. You see, the prodigal son, I need to get maybe my share of the wealth.
These guys are so unfair.
They're unfair. So
Joy,
they just get rid of you and then I get whatever I want.
and then I get whatever I want. It's so sad. Joy, what is your expectation? And not just yours, but even the people in your cycle and your peers. When you listen and talk to them, what expectations do they have on their parents that is not being achieved?
Expectations of parents, that would be maybe listening, parents who are listeners. You know, there are those parents where you maybe can come and be like, Mom, you know, maybe I did this abortion. Let's take an example of abortion.
Yes.
You know, but you know, they won't even take it the first minute. They're really very quick. They may even hit you. You know, so maybe they're like, let me talk. And so there are those who say, kuna mzazi wangu tu, siwezi mwambia how do I tell mom ati nilifanya hivi. You won't even imagine it. So maybe mostly as kids we would like if the parents are ready to listen to us, no matter the circumstances. Yeah.
Just to listen. Like you want to tell them, you know, it's very strange, first of all, that you have gotten out of their hand and you have gotten yourself pregnant, and even you have gone further to find out the means of, you know, having to abort. And your mom, who is supposed to be your first girlfriend, has no idea. You know, that in itself really hurts. I mean, I am a woman. I brought you into this world. I get back to a daughter and I was like, wow, finally I have a friend, a real one, a true one. I can talk everything with this girl, and she trusts you and she expects on you. And then everything she has taught you, taken you through life, you get yourself off her hands, you become pregnant, and find out from your friends, even abort, and she has no idea.
And because of that,
and you're saying you can't tell her, hey,
now you say, I won't be okay to disappoint her. So when I get pregnant, I'll keep it fast. How do I tell mom I did this? You know, for one,
you should even tell her first that you're dating.
Hey,
exactly.
You tell her that you will be killed. You know, you have.
How old are you? How old are you when you're dating? How old are you when you're dating? I mean, you are 18. You are probably campus going. You know, talking about general and fair standards. I'm not talking about 9, 10, 11 who have no idea what it is and then they find themselves. I'm talking about you who knows how to even use a P2. You who knows, you know, the measures to take when you're getting into this. You who knows the pros and cons and the consequences that you need to take up, you know. What is wrong with telling your mom? You know, these things that people assume, these small and trivial things, this is just the way we lose it and get to big things. If you cannot talk about this small thing, how will you say, there's a friend of mine who has a knife and we are planning to kill you guys? You can't. You can't. You must first be able to say, but hey, mom, do you know so-and-so is my friend? Then your mom knows that family. Don't even try. So the first place you're getting it wrong is not even telling her that you're dating. I mean, who tried? Did you try and did you die? Were you killed?
I never tried.
You never tried. I don't know whether this is where the problem is. You never tried. Why didn't you try? You look at your parents and you just judge their facial expressions and you're like, hey, to hell, I can't tell my mom. Why? You know, this is just the thing that I want, because this is the onset of all these things. It is just the place where they begin. The guy who killed his parents and siblings, you know, I'm trying to imagine what got into him. Putting aside issues of mental health, putting aside allegations that he was in a cult, that he was under drugs. I mean, what drugs lead you there to your own parents? What drugs? They should push you to pull down a building. What drugs? Your parents. Joy.
You know, I don't know, but sometimes kids, you know, we're not mature as our parents are. So we tend to mishandle situations. A situation that maybe I will just say, I'm sorry, blows up into a situation like, no, you should have said sorry first, or maybe, you know, it blows up into something big because communication, for one. We don't know how to say it properly, or maybe the channels to use. Yeah.
Blessing, is that the case?
Yeah.
That's the case. Wilkista, when I listen to the girls, I'm really concerned about the parents that we are today. We probably have very high expectations of our children, that they should live like this, and do this in this particular way, that when they come with a problem, we really expect them to be so mature. When she talks about the fact that they are maybe not so mature at that time, who is supposed to train them, and how are they supposed to be trained?
Parents are supposed to train them. The society is supposed to train them. We take them to school to be trained, and from all angles. But I said there are other factors, because in that same house there are other children. What would lead to one child being violent while the others are not? There are other factors. Maybe I said internal factors or external. External, someone mentioned drugs. Yes, they can contribute, because once you're under influence of certain drugs,
yes, you lose yourself.
You lose yourself. You're not thinking right, and then there's the influence. He was not alone. Maybe there were the one influence was maybe what he was watching. Because once you watch a lot of violence, it gets into your head. He was watching violence. The person maybe who was very close to him was also a partner in this. They were watching violence together. Maybe they were taking drugs together. Maybe there was a lot of influence outside, environmental influence. And the fact that maybe that person had that freedom, we don't know how maybe the person got the freedom. He was not in good terms with the parents, so he had a lot of time out there. The moment your child now gets time out there, you don't even have control of this child anymore. They are gone out there. You've let them out there to go and deal with other external people, other external factors.
And so you have lost the control.
Yes,
Blessing, try to think about your parents when you were younger. They were your confidant. You told them and shared with them everything that troubled you, and it was fun. You know, moving around with your mom, your dad. You said your dad, you are a daddy's girl, and so you probably still share a lot, you know. But do you still open up that much in this age?
No.
They don't know everything that goes on in your life.
Yeah.
Joy, do you?
No.
Why? What happened? Where did...
I think I have something to say.
Yes.
For these, maybe like daddy's girl, or maybe mommy's son. You know, we tend to kind of point fingers, especially when mommy's son. You know, there's maybe a boy, always anything, you see mom, my mom, my mom. Now people point fingers at it. Yeah, I can notice at times I could pull back like, no, you know, hata anaweza anza kufeel, it becomes an insecurity that people are judging, hey, huyu ni mtoto wa mom, kila kitu mama yake, you know, maybe
I know people who say they will not get married to a daddy's, a mama's boy. Yeah. Because they will ask, you know, like, mom, how many children should we have? Where should we take our children to school? I know girls don't want to get such kind of husbands. Yes. Where did the link, when did it start? When did you just break the chain and decide, Mom, I think I've told you so much, and from this day on, I have become an adult. Yes. When did that start?
Maybe when we grow older, maybe around after high school, maybe I'm a high school. Najua high school ndo naona all these things. That is where you get the first exposure before you even join college. So when you join college and then now the freedom is there. There's nobody following you around or, you know.
I think that is the time you should be running and saying, Mom, you know, it's not outside there. It's not the same as at home. You know, there is this strange thing happening. I thought that's where you should come back and say, hey, the world is like this.
I'd like to use my example. When I joined campus, you know, I was new to Nairobi. You just see things that happen, and when I went home, Mom, Nairobi. But right now, she doesn't hear much of that. Because maybe it's a norm, it's no longer news. Or maybe, you know, as in you just get to learn a lot from your friends, your experiences,
and then you get used to it.
And you get used to it. Yeah.
Priorities
When
change.
when the kids come to you and they start telling you, hey, Mom, Nairobi is another county. You know, that is different. Even the people there are so different, and the things that happen there are so different. What should you do as a parent? Should you just listen and say, hey, and that Nairobi, you're not going back there again?
No,
and maybe you cut off those friends.
No, like she said, the moment she came to Nairobi, that's when she went back the first time. Before she now developed new relationships. Before akuwe mjuaji wa Nairobi, you know, she realized that, okay, I can survive on my own in Nairobi.
Okay.
Before she got these new friends who were like trying to show her how things are done. So a child will come to you and maybe tell you of a new experience or something that they've observed out there. I think that is the right time now to capture that and try and tell them, no, yes, Nairobi is a nice place, but there is A, B, C, D, just take care.
Will you listen?
They might or might not. They listen at that particular point. But once they go out there, it's also important for parents maybe to introduce the church. You know, it can kind of control these young people. Because if you bring in the church and they go for church fellowship, I'm not saying they won't do all the things that they do around here. They'll do them, but at least there's a pastor there. There are some church leaders there. There are people who can control these young people if they are attending church or they have a relationship with their God. Faith, whatever faith
that would help.
That would help.
Joy, who do you listen to? You have the authority, who are your parents and any other, and you also have your peers. Who matters? Whose opinion matters to you?
Mostly my parents.
Really?
Sometimes, mostly my parents.
Okay.
Okay, it depends. It depends with the situation at hand. Kuna ile tu utambia, Mom, what do you think about this? There's another one, maybe you feel, maybe maybe if you have a mentor, maybe my mentor will know this best, or maybe my friend will know this best. It depends on the situation.
Is your parent always your best friend?
Yeah.
For sure. You know what a best friend is?
Yeah.
As in, kila kitu, I will tell you this and that. I will tell you, Mom, whatever it is. If I die, I die, but I will say it.
Okay, I think it's because our parents are judgmental.
Our parents are judgmental.
Yeah. So you may find out that uko na friends at home, maybe your friends are bad character. So mtaani watu wanajua huyu msichana hapana. So unapata mzazi akikuona na huyo rafiki yako anakuwa anaona tu tayari ushaharibika, which is not that way.
Birds of the same feather flock together. If I find you with the pigs, how should I expect you to be clean? I mean, you should come home waiting for a conversation. Like, Joy, who are you with? What are you talking about? Do you know those guys? What is the mistake? Is that being judgmental or just being concerned about guiding your child?
That is now their fear. As a parent, you see now you're thinking in a very different way. Yeah?
Yes.
As a parent, you feel like, okay, my son has started working with so-and-so son. And as parents, we forget that maybe the bad potato in the sack is our daughter. It is actually not the other one. You just imagining so-and-so is the bad girl.
But now knowing my daughter,
how do
I want to
you
caution
don't know,
her.
now we know that you don't know your daughter. All parents think they know their children. Do we know you people?
No, you don't. Not even close.
Not
even close.
Yeah.
Why do you keep these things from us? Honestly speaking, why? Are we that bad speaking on behalf of
Our
parents?
generations are different.
So we don't understand. Like what? Like what is that you don't understand? We taught you guys computers, you know. We taught you many things. Even if we didn't know, but we paid for you to go and learn. That means we gave it to you indirectly. What is it that we don't know? We have lived life. We have been there. The life you're leading now, we have been. We probably don't know about maybe Skype founders. There's those things that you guys have come with. But what are those major things you actually feel wazazi ni maziwalala?
Okay, Betty, let me tell you, you know nothing as a parent.
Oh my God.
You know nothing.
Really, Joy?
Nothing.
The angel you look like, you mean you have kept a bunch of things from your parents?
A lot of them.
A lot of them. What is it? About boyfriend?
Not even that.
Just about relationships? What exactly?
They'll be telling them. No, I'm telling you, it's on national television. She'll be saying that anyway.
But maybe these would be things that range from maybe relationships or experiences, maybe bad experiences. Or, you know, sometimes maybe things that happened even
Yes,
in high
like you
school.
have had an abortion, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you
something
didn't-
like that. Yeah, that's really huge because I'm not imagining that you've done a bad thing. As a parent, I'm looking at how you have damaged your health. I'm already thinking, will you get another baby? You know, I'm already thinking of you 10 years from now, you'll want to get married and then you don't have children. And when you don't have children, it all gets back to Mama Liza Tasa, you know. So, what are those things you're keeping? Relationship, yes. Ukona ule cheli mbaya tu, your mom knows, get out of this house or you cannot marry that one.
Yeah, relationship is part of them, part of it. Experiences. Yeah.
Kista, how do we solve this? We must get a solution. How do we deal with these girls? They're not the ones who are most rebellious. You know, when I look at them sitting here and they are saying their parents know justice, I'm wondering, no wonder somebody has been crafting like 3 months to kill the parents and they have no idea. You know, you mentioned about the prodigal son. I don't think as I sit here that this guy just said one morning, Baba, give me my things. I guess he had been planning, akaenda katafuta nyumba, you know, all things were in preparation. He strategized. So this guy, the killer, he didn't just decide, today I'm killing you. He must have, the movie was a contributor. What is the solution? What do we do as parents? And what do we teach our young people? And what do the young people also do? Please at least guide us.
Now, as parents, we need to continue having that relationship we had. These were sweethearts when they were younger of their parents. We should look for ways of maintaining the same relationship, talking to them more so that we don't cut that link. Because at some level, there's a link that was cut between parents, which is not so easy. And it's not going to happen because I've said there are external factors. So we should just try also to bring in some external factors. Like I said, the church can come in. In colleges now we have counselors, of which now even telling them to go and see a counselor is also another another issue.
They tell you hawana shida.
Hawana shida, they are okay. But you see, there are so many issues, relationship issues, drug issues, I mean peer pressure, they are drinking, they are doing everything.
It's sad that your girlfriend collaborates with you to kill your parents. I need you to give me your last words, Blessing. What do you want to tell the parents? At least because when I listen to you guys have more beef with your parents than your peers.
Okay, I think parents should give the attention to their children so that at least to bring that closeness with them so that the children can be able to open up anything to them.
Hey, if it is peremende that you want, I think all parents can afford. Just to hear, if we are saying, just this. Joy.
To parents, maybe I'd say, I don't know, let's just talk.
Let's talk.
Let's just talk.
So simple.
Without judgment, without anything. Let's just sit, let's talk. I can tell you, Mom, you see, this is what is happening. This is my interest. This is what I like. You can tell me, yeah, I know you now that you've told me you like that. But this is possible to happen because of this. Let's just talk. Communication.
Objectively. I hope that when it's objective, you guys can actually say that, yes, Apple, it's true, we can follow. Because you may want us to talk, yet you already bring to the table a formed opinion. That you are like, we must follow mine. If we don't follow mine, then we have not talked. Nikista, your last words on parents especially.
Yes, parents. Just be very observant. You know your children. You know when they have problems. You'll know you are the parent. So be observant, and if you detect that there's a problem, there are signs that you'll see. Maybe your child has just become so quiet, they don't want to talk to you. Their feeding habits have changed. They become so angry with you. They don't want to associate with others. They don't want to do any social activities. If you just feel like something is wrong with your child, don't keep quiet. Look for help. Look for a counselor. Let someone talk to that child. You might not be the best person at that particular time to talk to your child. Involve other people to talk to your children.
Wow. You guys are so resourceful and also surprising. You came with many surprises as well. It was nice to host you guys and have you guys on the show. We have had a good time, and I appreciate you for making time to come to GBS today. Thank you also, viewer, for viewing this program. It has really been good. I hope that you have found out where you are. If you are the parent, you got it. Just talk. Let's communicate. Let's chat with our children. They're not requiring much, just us having discussions and conversations. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have been your host. See you next time.